4, 5, 6 of those 148 alleged murder victims are still alive, that casts doubt on the entire case. Is that a good argument?
Well, I think what we're seeing is the extension of the same theme that started from the beginning. I mean, I agree with your other guest to a point, but I think that this goes along with the theme. What we're seeing now from the defense is that this is an illegitimate court, even though they're not saying that. They're backing off of that. But they're playing to the politics right now, the American politics of the occupation or invasion of Iraq and how things politically have shifted. And so what they're doing now is they're saying, look, this is an illegitimate court. It was set up by the United States. I mean, you can see that theme as they're attacking the prosecution's case. They're pointing to the fact that these are the victors who have somehow taken over power now and are now prosecuting Saddam and his people. And they're doing that by attacking the prosecution's case, by saying that the chief prosecutor has potentially bribed people, that the judge himself is potentially biased against the defendant. So I think we're seeing a continuation of the same theme that began at the beginning, but I also agree, in the end, it's not going to change the outcome.
You know, we haven't heard from medical examiners. Arrested. 4 defense witnesses were arrested, accused of perjury, and now they claim that they have been beaten. You know, in the United States, we wouldn't have a witness arrested for perjury until much after the trial, right?
You certainly wouldn't do that right after they testified. That's been the defense's complaint throughout this entire time. They've said that they can't call witnesses because we have to understand a lot of the people that would testify on behalf of Saddam Hussein and his co-defendants are wanted by the U.S. military or are captive themselves already. And that's been the complaint. They haven't had access to them. When they do testify on their behalf, they are arrested and held and investigated themselves, whereas the defense is claiming that the prosecution witnesses, when they testify, they do that with impunity. I mean, they get to walk away and say whatever they want. They get to present documents that may or may not be authentic. I mean, they're doing what they have to do at this point because the 5-panel judge has, the judge panel made up of 5 judges, they've already found that the accusations from the prosecution are credible. And now the burden has really shifted in this phase of the trial to the defense to basically prove their innocence or prove or discredit the allegations brought by the prosecution. So they're doing what they have to do. In the end of the day, I think we all know what the result's going to be, but they have to go through the motions.
Hussein, I'm really fascinated by Saddam Hussein case. People who were supposed to be dead. 4 of them not dead. Stone and Grissom. If that happened in an American courtroom where the prosecution, you know, it's a murder case, and you know what? They're still alive. Well, what does the judge do to the prosecutor in that situation?
Well, that's huge reasonable doubt. I mean, that's almost grounds for a mistrial. In this case, I mean, whether it's 143 or 148 or 152, it's not going to matter.
It's not going to matter, but just trying to explain to folks that the way this court is different than what we normally see at court TV. Say it was a case where you're charged with the murder of 12 people, or it's a serial killer, and you're charged with the murder of 57 people, and the prosecutor comes in and gets 5 of the victims wrong, and they're still alive.
Absolutely. That casts doubt on the entire case, and the defense attorney gets to stand up in a very big dramatic moment and move to dismiss, and the judge most likely will grant that, and that's his client will walk free on a case like that. That's going to be different in this particular instance because we don't know the circumstances surrounding the evidence brought forth by the prosecution as to whether these were documents allegedly signed by Saddam Hussein, giving credibility to the defense argument that they were forged documents, or whether he just got additional names added instead of, and got that wrong. I agree, and in an American court, game over at that point. Defense wins, hands down. But in this case, it's not going to matter.
And the judge reads you the riot act. In the meantime, forget it.
Who looked like his twin and who admitted to being the actual person in the rally photos. All right, take a look at this video of the 2 men. Stone, what do you think? It's a pretty close resemblance.
Yeah, it certainly is very close.
Look at that.
You would never see this in an American court. I mean, this is almost just comical to some degree. I think what the defense is trying to show, again, going with their theme of this is an illegitimate court, is showing the bias of the prosecutor and the judge and everybody on the side. At the end of the day, it's not going to matter, but it certainly adds to the entertainment value.
Yeah, I mean, that's just unbelievable to me, Vinnie.